Hi, my name is Nicole. Today I'm working with a practice that is considering offering mammography screenings to its patients. The clinic would charge $100 per screening to the patient, and it would be paying its technicians $120,000 annual salary. The clinic would also have to pay $15 per screening in order to have the screenings developed, and it will cost $25 per screening for supplies. The clinic would also have to pay $100 for utilities as well as 10 cents per screening for utilities. So that's both a flat rate and then a per screening rate. Based on this information, what would the volume of visits have to be in order to break even if the clinic were to start offering this service? I'm going to solve this problem both manually and using Excel today. When looking at cost, volume, profit problems and the break-even point, we want to keep in mind the following formula, where total revenue minus total costs equals profit. When looking at this practice, we know that the clinic would charge $100 per screening, so that would be the revenue. And then we have a number of different costs to look at. We have some fixed costs and some variable costs. So some costs will come up on a per screening basis and others just need to be paid as a flat rate. So I'm going to start by sorting the total costs into fixed costs and variable costs. When looking at the fixed costs, I have the salary for the technician of $120,000 per year. And then I also have a fixed cost component of the utilities where I have to pay $100 for the utilities. There's also the variable costs. So these are the costs on a per screening basis. So I've got the $25 per screening for supplies. I've got $15 per screening for developing costs. And then there's the 10 cent per screening utilities cost. So those are all going to fluctuate with volume. So when I'm looking at the formula above, so I've got the $100 per screening minus the fixed cost plus variable costs equals profit. What I really have is the price times the volume minus the fixed costs. And I'm going to add all of the costs together and then just subtract all of the costs at once. So I've got the fixed costs plus the variable costs times the volume equals the profit. So I'm going to set the profit at 0 for break even. And what I need to do is solve this for volume. So I've got, if the profit is 0, that means that the revenue equals the costs. So the price times volume equals fixed costs plus variable cost times volume. So now I can start substituting in numbers here. So I've got $100 per screening times the volume equals, I've got a total of $120,100 for the fixed costs, plus the variable costs I have 25 plus 15 plus 10 cents. which gives me $40.10 times the volume. So if I'm going to rearrange the formula to solve for V, I end up with 100V, and then I'm going to subtract the 4010V so that I can get the V's on the same side of the equation, equals 120,000 and $100. Don't forget the 100. And then I'm going to go up here for more room. Then I end up with 5990V because I subtracted 4010 from 100, equals 120,100. And then to isolate V, I'm going to do $120,100 over 5990, and I get a volume of about 2,005 screenings. So the break-even point is 2,005 visits for this service. To solve this problem using Excel, I'm going to again take the fixed and variable costs and sort them out first, knowing that my fixed costs is the $120,000 for the technician and then the $100 for utilities. So I'll put the total here. And I can just sum these two figures. For the variable costs, we've got the $25 per screening for supplies, $15 per screening for developing, and 10 cents per screening for utilities. So the total, again, I'm going to use the sum function here and add those up. So I've got the variable costs of $40.10. When I'm doing the break-even, I know that the costs will be equal to the revenue. So the revenue will be the price multiplied by the volume, and that is going to be equal to the fixed costs plus the variable costs times the volume. If I'm going to rearrange this so that volume is all on the one side, since I'm solving for volume, then I can say that the price times volume minus the variable costs times volume is equal to the fixed costs. And then if I want to isolate volume even more, I could say that the price minus the variable costs in other words, the contribution margin times the volume is equal to the fixed costs to break even. So now I know that the price is $100 per visit minus the variable costs are $40.10 per visit. And I'll put these in brackets times the volume would be equal to $120,100. So that would be $59.90 times volume is equal to $120,100. So in order to solve for volume, all I have to do is take $120,100 and divide it by $59.90. So that gives me about 2,005 visits. If I wanted to be really specific, I could say that I need at least 2,006 visits, but the difference is very negligible here. So I'm going to stick with about 2,005 visits needed to break even.